Still beside him. Can he make that pass? Yes, he did.
This is where staying out is going to really hurt the 21. He needs to get about 9 more laps to be inside his fuel window. And now he's lost that clean air. Oh, a big wreck. Huge contact.
48 is involved. That's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now up and over goes the 27. So Jeff Burton sliding on top.
I just want to get you. All right, just hold tight right here. It doesn't take a minute here. You all good there?
Yeah, man. Did all I could there.
It's Jeff Burton's radio. Upside down. Tell me about what it feels like to be a driver upside down in a race car.
I've never experienced, but this AMR team, they immediately get to the driver, start having communications, assessing what it is they need to do. We heard Jeb talk, so he thumbs up right there. Hey, that's a signal to everybody around what the degree of intensity needs to be.
That's exactly right. We met with the AMR team, and they explained how this works. So once that safety physician here gets to the driver and assesses the driver's condition, that lets everyone else know in what type of rush they need to be to turn this car over. While Jeb does not like hanging upside down, they want to do this as safely as possible for both the driver and the safety workers.
And as you see that, you can see he's communicating to Jeb the entire time. That's so important. Jeb, here's what we're doing. Here's what's happening. This is a very uncomfortable position to be in. You're scared because is the car going to catch on fire? Is something going to happen? And you know those guys are there, and that communication is so important.
And, why does he crawl out? I mean, look how close his helmet is. If he undoes his belts, he's going to be jammed upside down. You don't know if you can get out upside down. The safest thing they're telling him right now is see you right there, the hand motions. Talking to Jeb, we're going to turn you back over, that you be safely extricated from this car. I mean, if you're good now, you don't want to unhook your belt and injure yourself trying to climb out.
Yeah, and these guys have practiced this over and over and over, how to get this car flipped back. Tons of time these guys have put into this.
They talked about with us about when this scenario happens, the driver, they'll tell them to keep their helmet on.
As a race car driver, you're just so accustomed to being in control, right? I mean, you sit in something that goes 200 miles an hour and you're in control, and right now you're just having to wait, and that's why I love that communication. Hey, Jeb, I mean, they've been down there the entire time talking to Jeb, eye-to-eye contact, looking at him.
Yeah, I don't want you to leave me. If you're down there talking to me, you're gonna have to talk me through this. So now they're gonna move this safety worker back because they're gonna move the car.
You can see he communicated that to him, though, right? He said, I'm going to step away. Yep. He kept his head down, moved back.
And it's important they've explained to Jeb which side we're going to roll it on. The net's down. But if we're going to roll it on the driver's side, keep your hands in all these simple things that you don't want to take any of that for granted. So there you go. Now they've rolled it over, and that extra line they had on there caught the car from tumbling all the way over. That would be a pretty big ride to fall from 5 or 6 feet up. Now they're going to extend that cable and set this thing right over.
Now, red flag is out as the safety crew continues to work to get Jeb Burton right side up. And really amazing, as you guys mentioned, the AMR safety crew was to Jeb within seconds. They explained everything to him. They found out his condition.
And listen, every time they practice it, it can be different. They might not be rear suspension under the car. There may not be a front tire. So you have to, there's no guarantee on what you're going to be able to hook to. But you hear the crowd, applause as they should be. Great job by the safety team.
And now Jeb's like, get me out. Okay, yep. Get me out.
Yep.
Going out. Great to see him coming out of there. Listen to the fans.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Let's take another look at what happened.
Yeah, it all started with a car getting turned sideways. So you see right here, the 26. Off turn 4. Okay, gets very, very loose. Just really spins out. Loses control, probably had very little side force, too wide, sideways. Now it's white smoke. No one can see. The 48 of Stenhouse. The 27 sees it. He goes as far left as he can. He has a choice. Am I either going to hit the end of pit wall or stay on the racetrack? And he just launches off the 48 upside down. And then this long slide had to feel like forever. I'm not going to know what's better, sliding or tumbling. I'm going to say sliding if he's fine, but watch how close Jeb was to the end of this pit wall. He has a split decision, pit road or not. The yellow barrel's not a good option.
Yeah, he made the right decision not to try to turn left there at the last moment. Just a no-win situation for Jeb.
And the spotter coming on, asking him if he's okay, and also telling him no one's going to hit you. That would be the other thing that a driver would fear, is he's in such a vulnerable position.
So now the spin, and look at all the smoke. So you want to say, all right, here's where I want to go, but you're just trying to miss him. And then it happens that quick. I mean, that decision has to be made in milliseconds.
That's why I love slow motion replays. Shows us the violence. Like this will show just how much that car launches in the air. Now look at this hit right here. He lands basically on the driver's side door, tumbles onto the A-post. That shows how violent it is, but there's nothing like a full speed replay to show you Jeb's decision making. It is right now, left or right.
And remember, following the 2 crashes back in 2015 where cars spun onto and hit the inside wall of pit road, Pocono extended that pit wall by 100 feet back towards turn 3.
And think how important that was, because if that's the case, if there's 100 feet less wall, if there's 100 feet less wall, then there's a higher chance that they're hitting the end of that pit wall. So we talk a lot about these facilities. So many of those upgrades do not get mentioned. That could have completely changed the outcome of this accident. So bravo to the Pocono, continuing improvement. The inside wall all the way around was a big improvement. Spent a lot of money there in extending that pit lane.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Hit the inside wall 2 different times.
Yeah, I think Casey Kane was one of them that had slid in there.
Casey Kane was one, and the other one was Jeb.